Welcome to Everything's Fucked, where you haven't been fucked till you heard everything's fucked. You're listening to Monica,
And Asia.
and today we're going to be talking about us, our two favorite people. Just kidding.
No, that was pretty accurate.
I mean, it is. But honestly, we're really going to be talking about us today because this is a get to know us episode and a bonus. So,
Yeah, hope you get to know us.
Loves a bonus. Yeah. So, who wants to go first? I mean, we're really just going to be talking back and forth. So, what do you want? What do you want
Where do you want to
start with?
Well, I'm older,
Let's talk
so
about.
I'll go first.
Okay, age before beauty. Just kidding.
Fuck you, man.
Okay, you get to go first.
Well, my name is Asia. AJA. I was named after a Steely Dan album that is called Asia, and it's a song. So there's that. I'm almost 40 years old. I'll be 40 in February, and I live in California.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
I'm Monica, the younger of the two. I'll be 36 in January, and I live in Oregon, and I was named after a General Hospital character, if you care to know.
Hospital. That is awesome.
Yeah, Monica Quartermain. I started on that.
I love that story.
Yeah.
Your mom watched a lot of that show when she was pregnant.
Yes, she did, actually. Yeah, I was born in Oregon, raised in California, and then I came back to Oregon. Would not move back to California.
You're not
Sorry.
a Cali girl? What's wrong with you? You don't like it here?
No, I do not. Every time I go down to visit, I have a couple I have 3 sisters that still live down there, and every time I go visit them, while I love them so much, I would not stay down there.
It sucks living here. I'm stuck. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's one of those situations where it's so expensive to live here that you can't save money to get the fuck out. Like you're stuck.
You're stuck forever.
You got to make it work till your kids are grown and you can actually put some money aside. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just difficult to get out of here. It would take, a lot of money to get out.
It would take selling one of your children to leave.
It would. Probably both my vehicles.
I mean, Scarlett's pretty cute. You could probably fetch a pretty penny for her.
Fuck that. I'm keeping her. The other ones can go. No way. She's the best.
I'm just kidding. We do not advocate for selling children.
Yeah. It's just a joke. Oh my gosh. No, I have 4 kids. I have them in all stages of life too. I have the 22, the almost 18, the 13, and then the 3. So I have one that's in every single stage of life, which is not fun, but it gives a lot of content,
Yeah.
Helps with the content.
I just have the one, and she's a preteen, soon to be teenager in January. Yeah.
And you're feeling it right now. You're feeling it.
Oh, yes. We are in the throes of puberty, as they like to say. It's not my favorite.
No,
not my
really
favorite
bad.
stage of life, actually. I would prefer to not experience this again. I always tell people I would rather live the toddler years over and over repeatedly.
Over and over and over. Yeah. I think people that have only toddlers and haven't had a teenager yet don't understand like the hatred and the self-loathing and all of the things that really make teenagers hard to be around.
It's hard because when you're in the toddler years are so hard, and you can't really like picture anything
harder.
Worse than the toddler years because they're so difficult. Like your kid's trying to eat everything and they're like climbing into everything and they're mean and you're exhausted all the time because their sleep schedules are weird and you're trying to toilet train them, and toddlers are kind of assholes too. And then you get this preteen who's like basically a really mouthy toddler who maybe they do shit in the toilet, but now they're just super mean.
Before that, though, you get like a nice little chunk of good kid. You get like a solid 4 years to 5 years where you feel like you're doing something with your kids and you're like, okay, I'm going places with this child. And then all of a sudden it's like, whoa, where the fuck did that kid go? And it's replaced with this asshole that is really reminiscent of my toddler.
Yeah. True. I agree with that. Yeah. I feel like one and done was good for me. And then I have like a whole bunch of nieces and nephews, and I don't really see all of them all of the time. But if I want to see somebody else's kids in different stages of life, I can be like, oh, okay. Like I oh, I'm like having some baby fever. Like, I'll just go see those children
Yeah.
and then like, hey, bye. Like,
Yeah.
your child's
Leave them
crying. Here it is.
there. Going back
It
home to
shit
my
itself. Here you go.
going back home to my preteen.
Yeah.
Just get some hate again because that's what
Right.
I like.
Right. Yeah. So
Yeah. Well,
siblings. Now that I've said that, how many siblings do you have?
I have two brothers, one older, one younger. So yeah, I'm the
That's
only
it.
girl and I'm the
Just kidding.
middle. Fucked. Fucked. Fucked.
Wow. Yeah. That's kind of fun though.
Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
honestly I had a stepbrother too for many years, and then he had a bunch of cousins that were boys on his side. So we lived in Parker, Arizona. We moved there when I was in fifth grade, which was the best. We lived on the river, on the Colorado River, for about 5 years. And that's where my stepbrother was at. That's why we moved there, was to be closer to
Okay.
him. And so, yeah, it was the best part of my life. And having all the boys around all the time. I was the only girl. What didn't suck, you know what I mean? It didn't suck. I was well
Yeah.
protected, and I was taught how to climb a tree and how to do all of those, boy things that I wouldn't have learned otherwise. So I know I couldn't ever handle having a sister because I have three daughters. So I'm just glad God spared me that bullshit, because I don't think I could. I don't think I would have fared well, or she wouldn't have fared well. One or the other.
One or the other. Depends on how she was. We have our other bonus episode that's out, and I said I had 8 siblings, and I actually only have 7. I miscounted.
She's like, so I want to just
But
correct that here.
I feel as though once you get past a certain number, it's all the same, right?
Yeah,
So
it really is.
no.
It is.
So I have I grew up with 3 sisters in California. I only have one sibling that has the same mom and dad as I do. And she is a year and 1 month younger than me. And then I have a stepsister, and our parents are no longer married, but I mean, we grew
Yeah,
up
you were raised
together.
together.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we were toddlers. Well, I mean, I was 4 when I met her, and then our parents divorced when we were like late teenagers, and she's still my sister. And then I have one sister who's adopted, and so those are the 3 that I grew up with. And then my mom has 3 kids. I have 2 brothers and a sister from her, and then my dad has a kid from his 3rd wife, and he is the same age as Ramona. Actually, he's 2 months younger than Ramona. So
wow.
Yeah, it's super weird, because technically he's Ramona's uncle.
Like a very mixed family. Like they just kept going. They divorced and kept going. Yeah.
Yeah, which is
my in-laws did that too.
weird.
My in-laws did it too. They both had like significant relationships before, and then ended up meeting each other and having 2 more kids, which my husband was the product of. But I got so lucky to have, one of those families where we did just stick together. And my mom and dad, they may have broke up, but my mom was not about to have any more kids with anybody. She was like, oh no, not doing it. So I got lucky. I didn't have any, extra people that were way younger than me.
Well, when my mom was married to her second husband, the one that she had my 3 siblings with, he actually had 5 kids with his previous marriage that were my step siblings.
Now it's
and
getting
it was
muddy,
like,
Monica. Now it's getting muddy.
It was. And I called them my brothers and sisters.
Of course.
And they were. And so they were married for a long time. And so I had like so many siblings, I couldn't even keep track of them.
That's ridiculous. Almost like cousins, similar to cousins.
Yeah, it was like that. So yeah, I don't talk to my brothers, my 3 brothers, but I do talk to all of my sisters. So I have 4 sisters that I talk to regularly.
That's awesome. Have those connections. Did you have any pets as kids?
Yeah, we had dogs and cats. Lots of cats.
I had weird animals. I had a ferret. I had an iguana. I had a boa constrictor. I had crawdads. We had weird animals when I was growing up. Like we would go
crawdads. Like we would go eat crawdads, but we don't keep them as pets.
When they would drain the river, we would go and just remove all the rocks, because they drained it once a year. And we would go and move all the rocks and collect them all, and people would be eating them.
Why would they drain the river? To look for bodies, or what was that for?
No, you would think. No, it's they do it. I think I don't remember now exactly why, but both of the dams at either side, at the Havasu side and then at the other side, they would suck the water, and one would stop putting water out, and one would suck the water up just to let all the seaweed die so it wouldn't grow so much and then get caught in all the boats. It was like a whole reasoning behind it. I don't know. It was a great time though, because then you could walk almost across the river. You know what I mean? Like on land. Yeah. So as kids, we'd go and we'd get all the crawdads. We'd put them into a cooler and we'd bring them home and we'd put them into our saltwater tank or our freshwater tank, and we'd just keep them. And we wouldn't feed them, so they would just eat each other. And eventually, they'd get so hungry there would be wars inside of this tank, and we would just watch. And then there'd just be a bunch of shells left, and we just have to go clean up all the little bodies. Yeah. Fun stories from my childhood.
That's actually really mean.
I know. And I also had a ferret. The ferret was mine. He was my baby. Perry Mason was his name. And because he was a little investigator, and I had a leash for him and a little like, what are those things? Harness. And I would take him everywhere with me. Yeah.
That's really cute.
I had him for like 4 years. So
oh my gosh, I love that.
I'm an animal lover, not as an adult, but as a child, man, I was into animals. I even started in 5th grade. I started this thing called Junior ARF, Animal Relief Fund. And we would go and we would like clean out the shelters and with bleach water and take the dogs for walks and stuff. I was really into
pretty cool.
It. Yeah, I was really into animals. I think it was those commercials, those ASPCA, whatever commercials. Yes. They would get me. Send me your $19 a month. And I'd go into my mom and I'd be like, but Mom, we need to save the animals. And she'd be like, no, Asia, I don't have $19 fucking dollars for the dogs. Okay. I don't. Get a life.
You're like, that's my life though.
Yeah. So I started my own fund. You know what I mean? I started it's still operating to this day.
That's pretty cool. Nice.
Little animal lover Asia. She was a cutie.
Animal lover Asia. Do you collect anything?
I collect way too many things, but I have them all boxed up because OCD doesn't allow them to get dusty. Okay. I collect Cameos. I see Cameos would be my first collection, the thing that I started collecting from way young, which are those, it's like the side of the profile of a lady's face.
Oh, okay.
I have a tattoo also of it right here.
Okay, that's awesome.
Tattoo. Yeah, so I collect. Yeah, I collect Cameos, and people can't see me. I have a tattoo on my arm.
I can see you, cameo. But they can't. Yeah,
I forget. So my grandmother, when she passed away, she left all her things, and my mom went through them all. And my mom took the Cameos, and it was like a one big cameo. I think that's how it happened, and I got it. And I loved it. So that started my collection. And so I started buying like fake ones at the swap meet and all over the place. And people started giving them to me. So now I have like a big sock full, like a sock full of Cameos.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I collect Alice in Wonderland books, and I like to collect like antique ones and different like versions of them. And I got my first one when I was in like, I think I was 8 actually, from my parents. And then my 4th grade teacher used to call me Alice because I had long, really blonde hair down to my behind. And he just called me Alice all through 4th grade. And I thought he actually didn't know my name until I was in 5th grade. And he called me Monica one time. And I was like, oh, you do know my name. And so I've always collected them. I have a whole bunch of them. And so it's kind of expanded into like Alice in Wonderland prints and things like that. But I don't collect anything else because I'm too minimalist for that. I'm a little OCD minimalist, so I can't really allow myself
to wrap your mind around doing that.
Yeah, I get like overwhelmed if we have too much stuff in the house, and so that's all I allow myself to collect. I really love books, but I get most of my books now are electronic.
Online. Yeah.
Online.
Well, I also I collect rare Barbies. That started from when I was a child. When I was molested, the guy the detective that came over, he ended up bringing Barbie and having it all wrapped up on my porch. And we came back from dinner a few weeks after I had made the report and stuff. And it was right before Christmas, and it was a big box. And I opened it Christmas morning, and it was a bridal Barbie because I had told him something along the lines of I wasn't a virgin anymore and I wasn't going to be able to wear a white dress. So he gave me a white dress, wedding Barbie, and I still have it to this day. And that started my collection. So now I have 6 rare Barbies. Most of them are cool. Christmas and holiday edition, and they're still in the box. I also collect turtle shit because I'm infatuated with turtles.
I know you are.
I've had turtles. I had red-eared sliders for about 12 years in my house. Sometimes I had 8 of them, sometimes 2, but at the end I had 6. And then I also collect thimbles, which is kind of weird and stupid, but that one started right around the Cameos time too. When my grandma left me her thimbles, I just thought they were so cool. So now I have so many stupid thimbles, and they're all tucked away, like I said, because my OCD will also not allow me to display them, because then I'll have to move them and clean them and make sure they look nice and no one's touching them. And it's just too much control.
It's too much. Yeah.
So they're boxed up. But, and snow globes. I forgot to say snow
Oh
globes.
my gosh.
Yeah. I have issues.
So many things.
I have issues. Yeah. And I'm not a minimalist in that respect, but I definitely can't handle clutter at all. So I would prefer just to have it away and know I have it.
Yeah.
I never get to enjoy my collections.
Yeah. Maybe one day you'll have like a collection room where it's like super organized.
Oh yeah. The kids, when they move out, it's on. I'm going to get, display cases and shit. It'll look nice.
That'll be fun.
Nice. Yeah.
I, going back to like the book thing, I actually love reading so much. I would have like tons of collected books, like rare books and antique books and all my favorite books.
You'd have a whole collection, like a whole library.
I would. I love to read so much. So I read all the time, to the point where it was like becoming a problem. Read was kind of like, all you do is read, and we never hang out, and you never want to talk to me because your nose is in a book all the time. When I was in college, like in between classes, I would be like reading all the time. Like while I was walking around campus, I would always have my like face in a book, like the Beauty and the Beast song, just in a book all the time. I almost got ran over by a car one time because I was walking across a road.
I don't
reading.
read worth shit. I'm not a reader. Always been
really?
A math girl.
Oh my gosh,
yeah.
I love it so much. I read 190 books in 1 year. I think this year I'm up to 70 books. I've already read 70 books this year. Yeah, I just love reading.
That's awesome.
Just love it.
No, I don't
read all day if I could. If I could find a job where I could just like read all day, that would be my job.
I don't think I've read a book since 9th grade, and that was 20 years ago.
Oh my gosh. I cannot imagine that life.
No, and I can't imagine opening a book and having time to sit down and actually fucking read it. Like, I can't even imagine having that time, because my kids are so in my face, in my lap, get a snack. And they're still at that stage, the baby especially. I couldn't imagine trying to like find time to read a book.
No, oh man. Okay.
I've got nothing there. Do you have any tattoos?
I love it. I do. I have 7.
Ooh, 7 tattoos. I did not know this about you.
Yes. I have strategically placed them in locations where you wouldn't even know they were there. They can all be hidden. And I did that on purpose.
Why? Why would you want to hide them?
Just because I feel like it's less so nowadays because they're becoming more widely acceptable. But when I was younger, so I started getting them when I was 18, and I really felt when I started getting them, they're still kind of taboo at that time. Yeah. And I just didn't want to get a corporate job. And originally, when I started going to school, I was going into school for neuropsychology. I wanted to go into research to study glial cells. And I felt like if I had a lot of tattoos, like there might be a lot of judgment. It might be hard for me to get a job. And so I specifically got them and hid them in locations where I could always put on clothing that you would never be able to see them if I didn't want them to be seen.
That's awesome. Me, I was completely opposite. I started getting them when I was 32, I think, 33, when Rebecca was started going through all her stuff. That's when I started getting them, and I got them on my forearms. I got them like in the most obvious big script, and minor positive affirmations on my arms. And I wasn't ever going to get tattoos before I decided to get a tattoo.
Yeah.
So
I think that's 12. How it happens with some people.
Yeah, I have 12 tattoos, and I got them all fast. And my mom, me and her have matching tattoos, and that was her first tattoo, and now she has like 8 tattoos also, because she can't help it now either. She wants to get one for everybody.
I love it. I'm going to get one of them I really hate, and I'm going to do a cover up on it. And then Ramona and I have actually already decided on one we're going to get together. She's going to design it. It's going to be for my grandfather passed away, her great grandfather. And so she's going to design it. It's going to be something that reminds us both of him. So I'm pretty excited about that. So when she's old enough, we can get one matching. Yeah.
Yeah. Me and Becca had those plans. I'm glad you have those plans. They're fun. They're something to look forward to when the child's old enough and stuff. I love that. I love that cool mom vibe
I think it'll
you're
be fun
sending
for us.
out. It's nice.
Yeah. So I just said what I just said what I went to school for originally, but eventually I ended up going to school. I went to school for microelectronics after I decided I
Wow.
didn't end up wanting to go to school for research for glial cells, because I realized, which glial cells, by the way, are little helpers for the neurons in your brain. And it was going to be too much work with Ramona, as I didn't
Yeah.
go to school until after I had Ramona. And so it was too much to be a single mom in college at the same time. So I switched my major, went into school for microelectronics, and then I got a job in the tech field, and which is what I'm doing now. So what did you end up? You said you've gone to school. What did you go to school for?
Oh, I went back to school and got my GED in 2015, 2016, and I went to school for optical tech because Rebecca is legally blind. So I wanted to find a way to help her vision, and so that's why I chose that field. So yeah, I
Awesome.
enjoy.
That's really
I'm
cool.
actually really into the eyeball now. It's a little bit weird. My obsession with eyeballs. I will probably
Hey, eyeballs
eventually
are
get an
really
eyeball
cool.
tattoo. Yeah,
Yeah.
honestly, they are the eye to life. They're, the eye to your soul. It's just really cool.
Yeah.
I like
They're
eyes.
really interesting.
I'm
No,
into
I
it.
think that's really awesome. That's really cool.
Didn't know how much I loved them until I became an optical tech for a whole different reason. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
when you're going to school and you love what you're doing, it makes it so much fun. I would come home and just talk my family's ear off. They'd be like, okay, we don't give a fuck about prescriptions and we don't
Yeah.
care about
Eyeballs
how
are not that interesting to me.
we don't care how the glasses work, Asia. You don't have to explain how your glasses work, and I would just want to keep telling everybody because it was just so exciting to me. I really was
That was
into
me
it.
with like brain stuff when I was going to school. I'm like, oh, your brains do this and your brain can do that. And to let me tell you about brain cells,
They're like, can
people
your
are like,
brain shut up?
yeah, stop telling me stuff in your brain.
I love
No, let me
it.
tell you more. No, don't.
I love that. What do you like to do in your spare time? What is a spare time thing for you?
Well, obviously reading. Ramona and I, we didn't get to do it this year because this year the summer got kind of crazy, but we go paddleboarding together,
Oh, that
which we
sounds
really,
fun.
yeah, it's really fun. Pretty soon she's not going to be able to fit on my paddleboard anymore, and we're going to have to get
Gonna
her
have to
her
get
own.
her own, yeah.
Yeah. But Oregon's really awesome for hiking. We have tons of outdoor space out here, lots of hiking trail and places like that. So we do a lot of hiking up here. And then I have a huge garden in the backyard that I do in the summer,
Oh, me too.
and
My garden is
camping.
everything. My garden's
Yeah,
everything.
traveling. We do a
Yeah.
lot of traveling. So
That's
yeah.
nice. Where do you guys travel? Do you guys normally stay inside the United States or do you go out of the country?
We
What are you doing,
we're
girl? Where the fuck are you
we're
going?
cruise people.
Oh, you're one of them.
Yeah,
A
we are.
cruiser.
We're
Okay.
cruisers.
I've never
Mhm.
even been on one before.
Yeah, I mean, they're not for
Do
everyone,
you get
some.
seasick? Do you get seasick on them at all?
You know
Or do you
what?
feel like you're moving?
I
I need
actually
to know.
did get really seasick the very first time. So we've done 3 now, and the first time we went on one, I got super seasick, and I was really surprised because I only bought Dramamine in case Ramona was gonna get seasick, and I ended up getting super seasick. But it was only one night, and it was really rough sea, and thank God I had that Dramamine because it
Man, I
was
can't
not a
imagine.
good
Well, I
situation.
don't know for me mentally if I could handle knowing like I'm in the middle of the ocean. Maybe that's
I try
just
not to
me.
think about that.
Yeah, when you're on the boat, you
Yeah.
can't, right?
No, because
Mentally,
I'm
if you
actually
do, I would
really
put myself.
afraid of large bodies of water, but if I'm in a boat, I'm okay. It's the idea of being like, if I'm not in a boat and I'm in the water, then
Yeah,
I'm
no,
like,
I get that. Like as a
yeah,
kid, I could jump off the back of a boat all day long into the
yeah,
water and not have a fear. But now I know what's down there, and I'm totally
yeah.
okay with not fucking jumping in that water. But like knowing that you're in the middle of the ocean in the middle of the night, I guess would bother me. That's all. The middle of the night, it wouldn't even be a daytime thing.
It's really interesting because it's just so gorgeous out there. And I think if I don't let my mind wander to that, I'm fine.
No
Obviously,
intrusive
like you
thoughts.
can
No
start
intrusive thoughts.
really, yeah, you could start really getting there. But yeah, we have so much fun when we're doing it. And then, we do the unlimited alcohol. So then we're just drunk anyway. So what do we care about?
Oh, well then shit, you didn't
Yeah.
mention that.
We're
That's
unlimited
different
drinking
then.
and unlimited eating. And so I'm not thinking about being in the middle of the ocean. I'm just thinking about where's my next drink?
I know. See, well then there you go. I'd be on
Yeah.
that ship stat. I'd be there. I'd be like, let's
Yeah. It's
go,
really fun.
Monica.
We have a lot of time, a lot of good time. So
Yeah. Someday we'll have to go on a cruise together. And
yeah.
everything's fucked podcast cruise.
Oh my gosh, that'd be so much fun.
Wouldn't it be so much fun?
Yeah, it would.
Anyway.
Yeah.
So
What else? Anything else interesting about you?
I'm clumsy as fuck. I'm clumsy. Like It's not. It's no secret. We can talk about it. I've
Okay.
hurt myself so many times, like doing some stupid shit. I hurt my
Like
foot
emergency
walking.
room hurt
Oh
yourself?
no, like surgery. Hurt
Okay.
myself. Yeah, broke my fifth metatarsal walking up the stairs. I don't know how I did it, but I somehow my foot
Damn.
didn't hit the stair right, and I just broke my bone. Had to have 2 surgeries to fix that. And then I broke my back in 2014 getting a baby out of the car in the car seat, and I was pulling her out, and
I'm trying not to laugh, but like
you
I
can
just
laugh.
can't
It's
even.
fucking
What?
funny, man. You can laugh. I was pulling her out of the car, and her little car seat was stuck. Like the door wouldn't open anymore, and I couldn't get it. And so I'm pulling hard. And once it lets me go, man, I'm flying down now, and I land
Oh,
on my
God.
butt, and I put the baby in the air in the car seat, and she's giggling, and I crunched my back, and I broke T5, T6, and T7 compression fractures. Didn't know it was broken. Kept living my day like nothing. Went home and had a full blown seizure because my brain couldn't handle the
Oh
pain that I was
my
telling it.
gosh.
I was like, "No, you're fine, bitch. Just go on," because I have a very high pain tolerance.
Yeah.
And my brain was like, "Oh no, this is hospital worthy bullshit. You need to get there."
Yeah.
And
What are
so,
you doing to yourself?
yeah, Rebecca ran in and saved my life. Called 911. Said I wouldn't go to the hospital because I didn't have insurance because I'm too fucking scared of the bills that are gonna come out of this situation. So 3 days later, my insurance kicked in, and I went to the hospital and found out I in fact had 3 broken
Oh
bones
my
in my
gosh.
back, and I had to wear a brace for
Damn.
9 months. And then after
Ugh.
that, yeah, there's been a lot of other ones. I mean, I've that same foot that I've broke the baby toe 6 times after, just from kicking things on accident in the middle of the night or walking through my house. So I'm very
Wow.
clumsy. I fall all the time. I fell down my own stairs like 2 weeks ago. Yeah, happens all the time. Can't control myself.
We're gonna have to just put
And
you
I'm
in a bubble.
sober right now.
Like that
So,
movie Bubble Boy.
dude, if you can imagine, I'm sober. When majority of these things happen, I am completely sober. So it's me.
I have a rare autoimmune disorder called urticarial vasculitis, which causes like it's like a blood vessel dilation kind of thing. But I
Yeah.
also have Lyme disease, and like the two of them together, just it causes like mast cell activation. Anyways, it's like a whole lot of sciencey
No,
stuff.
no, it does make no. When you said
It's
that, it makes sense. Like your body's making too many cells.
Yeah, so it causes like a histamine reaction too, and
Okay.
so sometimes I will end up like I'll break out in hives like from head to toe, and so anyways, I've gone into anaphylaxis like 9 times in the
Wow,
last
that's
11
scary.
years. Yeah, and so when you're saying the whole like having to go to the emergency room, obviously I've had to do that, and
Yeah.
one of the times that I had to do it was I was at work actually, and when it happened, the company that I work at, I was working in what's called the clean room, and it's like you have to wear like a suit because
Yeah.
it's all you have to keep everything clean because it's we're making computer parts. And so anyway, they had to haul me out of the clean room, and they
De-suit
made me
you.
go in an ambulance. Yeah, and basically it was so embarrassing. And the whole time, all I could think about was like, oh my gosh, like they had to decontaminate the whole area that they had me in because they desuited me in the clean room.
Oh
And
my gosh, you caused
like
such a
I'm in
ruckus.
anaphylactic shock, and they start pulling off my hood, and I was like, you can't do that in here. Like as I'm like being
Dying.
EpiPenned. Yeah. They're like, she just looks at me and she's like, no, I think we're gonna be fine. I'm like, okay.
Your life means more to us than this clean area. You're
Right.
fine.
You're fine.
Don't
Okay,
die,
okay.
bitch. Don't die.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyways, good times.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
is good
EpiPens
stuff,
are
man.
fun.
That's
Yeah,
good
they
stuff.
are.
I've
Well,
never needed an EpiPen. I've never needed one.
I hope you never do. They're not
Yeah.
really that great. I mean, they don't hurt going in. Like a lot of people think like because it's a needle, but they actually are not. Like the needles are so tiny they don't actually hurt. So I don't even notice like they go in. Like you can hear them
It's more
click,
the
and
pop.
that's
It's more the click pop sound
yeah, you
than
hear the
anything.
click and then you don't feel the needle. The needle doesn't feel like anything.
They make it so dramatic too, like they stab you with it or something too. It makes
oh
it so
my
dramatic.
Gosh. It is
so
really dramatic. I traumatized my sister one time. Like I'll tell you this funny story. So my sister I showed her multiple times how to use my EpiPen, but then of course, like in a high adrenaline situation, like me passing outside in front of her bedroom door in anaphylaxis while she's waking up in the morning, kind of a little bit traumatizing for her, I'm sure, which
I'm
it was.
sure. I'm sure.
She ran and grabbed my EpiPen, and then she couldn't remember how to use it in the moment, and then she hit me in the leg with it, and then I didn't hear it click or feel it go into my leg, so I grabbed it by the top and I shoved it down, and it was upside down, and so instead of going into my leg, it went all the way through my finger, and then all the epinephrine shot out the top of my finger because the needle clicked out. Yeah, and so then we both like shocked, like, oh my gosh, all the epinephrine is gone, right? And then of course this needle had gone all the way through my entire finger, and so my sister starts freaking out. Oh my gosh, what do I do? And I was like, there's another one in my bedroom. So of course she goes and gets it and hits me in the leg correctly. So she starts taking me to the emergency room, and then the adrenaline starts hitting me and I'm bleeding through my finger. And then I just start laughing hysterically. You stabbed me in the finger, and I'm just laughing, and she's crying because she's driving me to the emergency room. This isn't funny.
And you're just laughing your ass off. You're like, yes, it is.
I was really laughing.
Oh my gosh.
So anyway,
so
yeah. So it was pretty funny. But
one thing we didn't touch on how long you've been with your partner and me with my partner.
Yeah, we should touch on that, and then we can wrap it up. But Reed and I have been together for we've been best friends for almost 10 years, and I say that because we actually met, it'll be 10 years in December, but we didn't actually start dating until it'll be March, I think, of this coming year. So we didn't start dating until a while after we met. Yeah.
Awesome. So yeah, I've been with my husband for 20 years. We've been married for 18. We met working at Ralph's grocery store together. I've worked mostly retail my entire life. And I worked there for a long time, and then he got the job there. And he's a great guy. We have 3 kids together, and I have one that I had in high school. So I was a teen mom. I had her at 17. And then I met Junior when I was 19. She was about 2.5 when I met Junior. Yeah. So
nice.
That's our little love story.
Blended families, Ramona and I were a package deal, and she was, I think, 4-ish when
we were a package deal too. And when me and Junior first started talking, I wouldn't even let him see Rebecca. Like for the first 4 months, he wasn't even allowed to come to my house. We went on dates and stuff, but I just wanted to keep him away from her until I knew he was a good person. And then once, around Christmas time, we started dating in September, and around Christmas time, I think, is when he started coming around and actually got to meet her and get her a gift and stuff. And he fell in love with her, and he loved her more than me. Like, I would really hurt Junior. I was a pretty bad person. I was on drugs for a long time. And so I wasn't a very good person to him in the beginning, and he was sticking it out for Becca. So I thought that was pretty cool.
That is pretty cool, actually.
Yeah.
That's really awesome. Yeah, I think there's something to be said for men who, take on children that are not their own. Like Reed did not want kids, and he's an amazing dad to Ramona, and not just like a father, but like a dad.
A dad, yeah. I say the same thing for my husband. Rebecca's had a really hard life, and he's stuck with her no matter what, and our other kids too. So yeah, it's a blessing to have them. They're good guys.
All right. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed getting to know us a little bit more. I mean, this episode really was a bonus episode. Just get to know us if you guys were curious and wanted to get to know us more. And if you have any questions, you guys can let us know. Contact us, reach out, send us a message. We'd love to hear from you. And follow us on Instagram at Everything's Fuck Podcast. And yeah, we hope to hear from you guys. Rate us, review us.
Yeah, let us know how we did. Have a great day, guys.
Talk to you guys later. Bye.